What is going on, guys, and welcome to CSS tutorial. In this video we're going to continue, but for now it's going to be the last video on actually horizontal and vertical alignment, and we're going to look how we can actually use the transform property and actually to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a div, and we're going to create within that div we're going to create a paragraph, and I'm just going to say again text is here like this, right? So this is going to be our text that's within a paragraph that's sitting within a div, right? So the first thing that I would want to do is actually I would want to go over here. I'm going to click set a new rule, and the new rule would be that I would want that height of my div to be, let's say, something like 250 pixels, right? So the next thing that I would be able to do is I would say that I would want my position over here, and I would want my position to be relative, because I will want this, basically this paragraph, I'll set it here in the middle by using the absolute property, right? By actually using the position property, but the value is going to be absolute. So right now I have the position relative, which is going to hold this text, it's going to be absolute. And the next thing that I would want to do is obviously add, as always, our border, just for the sake of it, 2 pixels, solid, I don't know, orange, right? No, something like that. And let's check it out. I think there's some kind of mistake over here. Yeah, you see I left this over here, so now you can see now I have it orange. And this is what's going to happen in brackets. Let's say if you'll do some kind of mistake over here, it's actually the live preview is not going to be rendering. So you need to always make sure that when you're working that you don't have something like this untyped. And unfortunately, it's not showing over here. When we're working in HTML, our mistakes right away are showing here with pink. But if we're in CSS, it doesn't happen like that. So now you can see that I have my box and my paragraph is right in here, but I obviously want this paragraph to be all the way in the middle, right? So what do? I go over here and I use the quick edit, and again I set the rules. And like I said, I actually created purposely this box to be relative, so then I could use the absolute positioning. So I say position, the first thing, what I would want to do, and I would say that I want this position to be absolute. And the next thing that I want to say is that I don't want any margins interfering with me. So I'm just going to say that I want all the margins 0, right? So whenever I'm working, it's exactly how I want it, that because I'm going to be working with percentages. If you have this margin over here, it's obviously going to be included. So what we would need to do over here, we're actually going to go and we're going to say that we want a top, and we want a top to be like 50%. So what's going to happen, you can see right away how it goes all the way to 50%, right? So the next thing that we would want to do is actually we would want to set it from the left, right? And we can do the same thing. We can actually set it 50%. So you can see that now it is sitting 50% here and 50% here. However, we also need to keep in mind that actual image, it has its, I'm sorry, not image, the actual paragraph over here has its own dimensions, right? So in order to get rid of them, we would need to use a property transform, and transform we would need to have a value translate, and the translate we would have to add 2 values. So the first one would be minus 50% over here. So now you can see how it moved right away to the left. And the next thing what we would need to do is actually put a colon here, and we would set minus negative 50% here. So now you can see how it moved to the top, and with both of them. And obviously, if we want to be really creative, I can start doing something like this, where I'm actually changing the percentages. However, just in order to get the text in the center by using the absolute positioning and have the box with a relative positioning, this is what we can do. This is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.